Hi everyone, it's Peggy. I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm going to read to you today from Tim Sheets' book, Prayers and Decrees That Activate Angel Armies. I'm really enjoying this book. It's just my cup of tea. So this week, the subject is the church, a movement. And here is the decree. We decree Holy Spirit is now supervising a new movement of awesome revival. Let's see what Tim has to say. Why the increase of angelic activity in recent times? Why the increase of signs and wonders in the heavens? I believe it's a confirming sign that it's time for a new campaign of the Holy Spirit. Over the past decade, we've heard key after key after key concerning the success of an apostolic campaign. But we've been missing the most basic key to all apostolic movements. The key to any movement is movement. You have to move. You can't always be on vacation. There are times when you must engage. There are some times when you've got to display the courage of a Gideon and stand up in the culture to make a difference. You can't always run and hide. Sometimes you have to engage and go get something that was stolen from you. It's time for the church to arise and take back what's been stolen from us. I like the phrase, the descriptive phrase of the third day. We're living in the third day time. We're third day people. It's just always stuck with me. And I wrote this down. I read it somewhere, and I just love it. It says, in Christianity, the third day is a symbolic day of resurrection and restoration that represents God's intervention in history to create new life and fellowship with humanity. Not just the church, but humanity. I love it. The Lord has spoken to me about restoration, about that He wants to teach us and give us the ministry, which is the Holy Spirit's ministry, the ministry of the restoration of all things. And I'm looking forward to that now, not in the by and by, now. So let's see what Tim says about the church movement. It's time in this moment for the people of God to become engaged. Angels are networking with the church under Holy Spirit supervision. And they are striking the enemies of our King and his kingdom. Angels are bringing coals from the altar of heaven to try and fire up the people of God. Holy Spirit is moving to release power for a new beginning, a new outpouring, and a new season to be fruitful and multiply. And that's even the older people. They will be fruitful and multiply. That so says Peggy. He's coming to resurrect and renew a movement, not an institution. We're called to be a part of a movement, like the 120 in the upper room who turned our world upside down with the gospel of the kingdom. So it's just like that. Well, it's like that, part of a movement like the 120. That is the ecclesia of this hour that we live in, of that third day I was talking to you about. The governing body of the Lord on this earth. As he is on this earth, so are we, because he's in us and working through us, loving through us. Let's go on with Tim here. Movements don't sit around or stand around dazed and confused, wondering what's going on and why isn't God taking things back from the devil for them. They get up and they start to move, knowing that if they move, all of heaven will move with them. See, the angels will come. It's time for the church to get up and move in the power of the Holy Spirit. It's time to move in signs, wonders, and miracles. It's time to move in the gifts of the Holy Spirit again. Words of wisdom, gifts of faith. And that's Jesus's faith, not our faith. We can access his faith. So going back to Tim, discerning of spirits, healings, and miracles. The church, by definition, is to be a movement. You know, church was not even in the Bible. Church wasn't part of their language. They only knew ecclesia. The church, by definition, is to be a movement. It's time for the Church of the King to begin to move from complacency to focused Christianity, from intimidation to great valor. And that great valor is going to go to all those 7 mountains that we just read about. The culture. Let's see. Let's continue with Tim. From intimidation to great valor. From hopelessness to faith. And that's Jesus's faith again. And confidence in the living God. Confidence. See, we can have confidence in him. He wants to do this. And it's not us doing it. It's him in us. He wants to partner with us. We are part of it, absolutely. And he has chosen to work through his people. To move from the 4 walls into the streets and the marketplace, into government and media, business, education, arts, and entertainment. There's the 7 mountains again. From selfish, what's in it for me, Christianity, to servants of God, doing his will. From consumer Christianity to discipleship. And here's the prayer. Father, empower your church for the fresh campaign of King Jesus that you are releasing now. May your bride, and that means male or female, may your bride be readied, filled with fresh fire, and emboldened for the movement that is taking place. May we be the movement, sparking fresh revival throughout the world as we engage with culture to represent you well, Lord. It's like the bride. There's a painting that is of a bride in a gown, and she's wearing combat boots. That's the kind of bride we want to be. And I say we are. Yes. Well, that's what Tim has to say for today. And I thank you for joining me just for a few minutes for a little break. And I'll see you next week, Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific, God willing. And if you'd like to give to my ministry, I'll leave the ways you can do that in the comments. God bless you all. Bye-bye.